right. Shalom, shalom. Police officer 50 resign holding it down today. Today's ISUPK Sabbath service. All right. So y'all give me 1 second. As you come in, like and share the class. I'm doing the same thing myself. All right. So today we in a seven service. You already know, going through the whole book of the Old Testament from Exodus to Genesis, 49 verses each week. 1 second. Error. All right, so like I said, today we are in the book of Leviticus, right? In the 3rd chapter today, finishing that out. So each week, 49 verses, all the way from Malachi, from Genesis to Malachi. And then we spend the next couple of months in Leviticus. Today is going to be, like, Leviticus is a book of law, right? A lot of laws in the book of Leviticus, a lot of what to do if this happens. All right, that's what we're going to be going into more detail. We're going into that today. But what you can and can't do, more of what happens if you do this. What happens if this person does that? All right. So we're gonna get into it. Not too much time. So we're gonna start with the Lord's with the prayers. Elijah, you stand. Upon Yahweh down, turn facing the east. All right, we're gonna start off with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Awanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Hayah, Shunka, Yahweh, Malakofka, Taba'ah, Jazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Thunanawa, Lakam, Kar, Yawam, Basalaknawa, Kawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawathnawa, Wala'ah, Tabayan, Salakim, Tabayanawa, Banasai 1, Bar, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Rakab, Malakwath, Wa'ala, Wa'thapa Rath, La'iwalayim, Aman. Right, in English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Right. There's the Hakak, the power, the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Babakashah, Dunanaw, Hakak, Hakak Rapa'ah, Makalai, Wakal Madawa, Hakak Latahar, Amatazarayim, Hakak, Lakwayam, Amathim, Hakak, Arkawath, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Radaman. The English, Yahweh, name Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power to hear all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel in Hebrew, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Rayasha Allah, Rabaya Saparim, Barak, Bahashem Yahushua, Dwalaman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Israel and the school. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Like Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharim, Ma'ayan, Deba'ah, Azariah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Ra'ratazah, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Ayanawam, Shemarka, Anah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shamar, Rasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yumyaka, Yamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Bayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahweh, Hashemarka, Makar Rai, Hashamar, Off the Pashka, Yahweh, Hashamar, Taza'athka, Abawa'aka, Ma'itha, Wa'ayat, Avalan. Right? In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from which cometh my help. That will come from me, from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth, even forevermore. All right. Psalms 183. It's like Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim, Adam Yalakah, Al Takarash, Al Tashakwat, Al Kayana, Al Yabika, Yamaya 1, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Yarayamwa, Sawadah, Wayata, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawat, Wanakakidam, Regaya, Walaa, Nazakar, Shom Yash'ala, Awadah, Kaya, Nawaitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Aryaka, Vayath, Akarathwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Rachma Ali, Nawaabu, Wagari, Kabal, Waimawan, Waimalak, Palashath, and Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gum Asharor, Nalawat, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Bayulawat, Salah, Ashalaham, Kamaji, Kasagya, Sara'ah, Kayabia, Bandakar, Koyashwan, Ashamadwa, Bayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shatamwa, Nada Yamawa, Kara, because of Abba, because of Bat, because of Zon, when the eye, call, say Kumwa, Ashar, Amarwa. My Rasha, but not Lanawa, Na'awa, Alahaya, Shatamwa, Kagagala, Nakash, Napanya Ka'ash, the Ba'ira Ya'ira, Kalahaba, Talahat, Hawayam, Khan, Tharadat, Wasairaka, SABBATH, the Bahalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Palawan, Wayabakashwa, Shemkat, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ai, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shimka, Yahweh, Bata, Ayawan, Al-Ka, Haratazah. All right. Said in English is, in English, keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They are taking crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let's cut them off from being a nation. In the name of Yahshua, there be no more remembrance. For they consulted together with one consent. They confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. So is also joined with them. They hope in the children of Lot. It's a lie. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, the book of Kisan, which perished at Endor, and became as dung for the earth. And the numbers like a red, and like Zeed, yea, of the princes of Sabbath, and as Amunah, who said, let's take to ourselves the houses of God in possession of my God, with them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, with the flames set the mountains on fire. To persecute them with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storm. For the faces with shame, let me seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them put to shame and perish. The men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth. All right, questions in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Maka Allah, Wa Allahayim, Wa Tazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapim, Ha Suranyim, The Katazayayim, The Ka'ayayim, Wa Akwathim, Yahweh, Wa Hashem Yahweh Shai, Wa Rahman. In English, bless you, Yahweh, in Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanded on Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh. Name Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Right. Star, while you shove you, turn to be seated. So we are in the book of Leviticus today, like we were last week. Last week, you know what I'm saying, gave you a intro into Leviticus. Again, by Mr. Parak last week. You know what this book is going to be all about, right? We're gonna go further into it. So everything before, you know what I'm saying, is the book of law. This is what, you know, if you do this is what happens, right? We get all our knowings and doings from the Bible. And you know, we read 7 verses in the Hebrew, then read them in the English, and break it down from there. All right, so let's say we started Leviticus 3, chapter 3, verse 16. Take us into the 14th, takes us into the 4th chapter, right? And today we're going to chapter 5, verse 12. That'll be our 49 verses for today. So let's get started. There's the book of Leviticus, chapter 3, verse 16 in the Hebrew. See, Quat Yaram, Hakahan, Mazaka, Lakam, Asha, Rayak, Nayakat, Call, Kalab, La Yahweh, La Yahweh, verse 17, Kakwath, Iwalam, La Darath, Yakum, Bakal, Shabbath, Yakum, Shabbath, Yakum, Call, Kalab, Bakal, Dam, La'ah, Akawa, chapter 4, verse 1. Wadabar, Yahweh, All, Mashah, La Amar, verse 2. Debar, All, Banya, Yashar Allah, La Amar, Napash, Kaya, Taka'ah, Taka'ah, the Ka'at, Washaga, Ga, Makal, which is a Wath, Yahweh, Ashar, La'ah, Ta'ashaha, Ta'ashana, Wa'ashah, Ma'akath, Akath, Mahana, verse 3. Hakahan, Hamashiach, Kath'ah, Shamath, Ha'ain, Wa'akwar, Yab, Al, Kata, Athwa, Ashar, Ka'ata, Sakit, Kata'ah, Par, Ban, Bakwar, Thumb Yum, La Yahweh, Yaka'ah, La Kata'ath, Kawath, Ka'ath, Sakit. Verse 4. Wahab Ya'ah, Ath, Hapar, Al, Patak, Ahal, Mawa'id, Lapanya, Yahweh, Wasamak, Ath, Yadwa, Al, Ra'ash, Apar, Wa, Shakat, Ath, Hapar, Lapanya, Yahweh, verse 5, Walaquat, Hakahan, Hamash, Hamash, Hamashat, Hamayat, Hamashat, Hamashyat, Madam, Apar, Wahab Ya'ah, Athwad, Ah, Ahar, Moai. All right, just the first set of verses in the Hebrew. We're going again in the English, starting at verse 16. Right. The book of Leviticus, chapter 3, verse 16 in the Hebrew. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar as the food of the offering made by fire for a sweet savor to the Lord. Just so we can this is talking about if they give an offering, right? Let's go up a little bit. So basically, this is telling what this food is for. So let's start just a few more verses up. Just about the offering that he's bringing, right? And he shall offer a sacrifice. Just verse 9, chapter 3, verse 9. He shall offer of the sacrifice of peace, of the peace offering. Right? This is what we get to verse 16. This is what this is talking about. Is his peace offering, right? This is the free will offering, basically. Peace offering, an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat thereof in the whole rump, and this shall he take off hard by the backbone, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, but the kidneys it shall he take away. The priest shall burn it upon the altar. It is food. It is the food of the offering made by fire unto the Lord. So this is what the food is for. The food is going, like the priest are going to eat the food, right? But while cooking that sweet savor that comes from the food that you by this point the season, you sacrifice that you're giving, this is the sweet smell to the Lord. It's the Most High, right? This is what the offering is for. It's going into the Most High. The food will be eaten by the priest. Don't sit there until it magically goes away. Verse 12. And if his offering be a goat, he shall offer it before the Lord. He shall lay his hand upon the head of it and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. The sons of Aaron shall sprinkle the blood thereof upon the altar round about. He shall offer thereof his offering, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord. The fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver with the kidneys, he shall take it away. Right, this is what we get to. So now I'm talking about first we was just offering up a peace offering, right? It's supposed to be a lamb. So the first when we talk about the first part of the verse now, it's talking about a lamb. It's about a goat. This is all thing that you will take out. Yeah, show them, sis. This is a thing that you would pull and take out, right? Of the animal. Verse 16, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire for a sweet savior. All the fat is the Lord's. It shall be a perpetual statute forever for Slack. It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations, for all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood. All right, so all the fat that you're supposed to get, you're not supposed to eat it. That fat is to be burnt up and given to the Lord. Basically, that fat goes uneaten. You just eat the meat. The meat is supposed to eat, not the fat or the blood. All right. Chapter 4, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, and let him bring for his sin, which he have sinned, a young bullock without blemish unto the Lord for a sin offering. And he shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tabernacle for the congregation before the Lord, and lay his hand upon the bullock's head, and kill the bullock before the Lord. Right? The priest that is anointed shall take the bullock's blood and bring it to the tabernacle of the congregation. Right, so that's if you do something, but you don't know that's a law, something you're not supposed to do. Just the sacrifice that you would give, right? This is like I say, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people. I'm gonna get some better understanding on that before I break that down. I don't want to tell y'all the wrong thing on that. You know what I'm saying? That's what smart people do. Smart people get answers for they just, you know what I'm saying, give you something that they don't quite know. It might be quite unsure of something, right? I don't want to say the wrong thing on that one. We're going to skip that for now. These next 7 verses in the Hebrew, right? Sure. Right. Book of Leviticus, chapter 4, verse 6 in the Hebrew. Watabal, Hakahan, Ath, Tazabaywa, Badam, Waza, Mawa, Mana, Hadam, Shabai, Pa'amyan, Lapanya, Yahweh, Panya, Parakath, Hakwadash, verse 7. With a thun, Hakahan, Manah, Hadam, Al, Karanawath. See, it's like it. Karanwath, Mazabak, uh, Patarath, Hashem Yam, Hasam Yam, Lapanya, Yahweh, Ashar, Ba'ahal, Wa'id, Wa'ath, Kal, Dam, Hapar, Yashapak, All, Yasawad, Mazabak, Ha'elah, Ashar, Pathak, Ahal, Mo'aid, verse 8, Wa'ath, Kal, Kalab, Par, Akasa'ath, Larayam, Yarayam, Amanwa, Ath, Akalab, Hamakasah, Al, Akarab, Wa'ath, Kal, Akalab, Ashar, Al, Hakarab, verse 9, Wa'ath, Shathya, Hakayath, Wa'ath, Hakalab, Ashar, Al Yahan, Ashar, Al, Hakasalayam, Wa'ath, Hayatarath, Al, Hakabar, Hakabad, Al, Hakal Yawath, Yasa Warab, Wasa Yar Na, verse 10, Ka Ashar, let's see, Yawayam, it's like Yawaram, Mashawar, Zakar, it's like Zabak, Hashalayim, Wahakwat Yarath, Hakahan, Al, Mazbak, Ha'elah, verse 11, Wa'ath, Iwar, Hapar, Wa'ath, Kal, Basharwa, Al, Wa'ashwa, Wa'al, Karai Yawa, Wakarab Wa, Waparash Wa, verse 12, Wahawatazan Ya'ah, Ath, Kal, Kapar, Al, Makawataza, Lamaka Kana, Al, Makawash, Makawam, Slaki, Makawam, Wawam, Tahawar, Al, Shapar, Chapak, Slaki, Hadashwa, Slaki, Hadashan, Hadashan, Washapar, Washarak, Athwa, Al, Altazawam, Altazayam, Waash, Baash, Al, Shapak, Hadashan, Hadashan, Yasharak. All right. That's 12 verses. So the next 12 in the Hebrew, English. So Leviticus chapter 4, verse 6. Starting verse 6 in the English. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood. So the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle the blood several times before the Lord, before the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation. It shall pour out all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar with the burnt offering. All right, so you got a specific place where everything has to happen at, right? So visuals do have, I'm not sure if I want to pull the visual aid. Let's do a visual aid. Yeah. We do a visual aid, right? Y'all rocking with me today. Once I ain't got nothing else better to do. Just joking, of course. Just joking. All right. What? We'll see which one is best. Give me the visual that I will need. Plus the names for everything. Okay. Hopefully I can see that clearly on there. All right, so everything is telling, this where all the All of this, the sacrifice would be done, right? The sin altar, this is the altar of the burnt offering. This is where the blood would be poured. Right, this is where all the sprinkling of the blood would be done, right? Let's read that one more time. So this is Leviticus chapter 4, verse 6. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle the blood several times before the Lord for the veil of the sanctuary. So the veil is, we was talking about right here. We might be talking about right here. This is the veil. This be a covering, right? Like curtains and keep it closed. Right, so since we can do the veil, the blood seven times. Right. And then the priest, verse 7, the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar for sweet, on the horns of the altar, a sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation. This is the tabernacle. All right. You see right here, it says the altar of incense. This is it. It's the veil. Okay, so this is the veil right here. Never mind. It's locked. This is the veil. That's where it's putting the blood. It puts the blood in the tabernacle on the altar of incense. Y'all can see that. You know, y'all see my mouse. Hopefully, y'all can see my mouse. You understand? I'm gonna check for myself too. I'm doing all this and can't nobody see nothing. So I zoom up, but y'all don't see my mouse. All right, so you see, if you guys were to see the veil where that sprinkle at, you see it says the altar of incense. Put blood upon there, right? So this tabernacle, just this whole thing right here, right? Then you should pour all the blood of the bullock on the altar for burnt offering, right? And that's where you see towards the entrance, right? You see at the bottom it says the burnt offering. You see like the red things together. Just like showed my mouse. Okay, you see it. Okay. It's my slow computer. You guys do see it. It's locked. So this is where you pour the rest of the blood at for the burnt offering. Right. So we start over from verse 7 again. The priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar, a sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Right? It's all that, right? Verse 8. That's enough for sharing that. Let's like give you guys the visual representation, right? Like I said, visuals are always good to have. Like I said, when you're reading, you're kind of hearing it. A lot of, if you don't got the kind of imagination for it, it sounds like womp, 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 womp. It sounds amazing, but then you don't really know what you're really thinking about. So getting back up was good to show you guys what exactly they're talking about. All right, verse 8. He shall take off from it. It's like he shall take off from it all the fat of the bullock for the sin offering, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards. So the inwards is like the intestines, all that stuff, right? That's the inwards. That's the fat protecting all that stuff. Verse 9. The two kidneys and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, in the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. As it was taken from the bullock, the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar of the burnt offering. And the skin of the bullock and all his flesh, and with his head, and with his legs, and his inwards, and his dung, even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp unto a clean place, where the ashes are poured out, and burn him on the wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out, shall he be burnt. So, talk about cooking the bullock. That's it. That's all it's all about. He's cooking the bullock, right? Removing the ashes from the bullock. That's it. Seems we're gonna just kind of read from here in English. All right, verse 12. That's it. Verse 13. If the whole congregation of Israel sin through ignorance, and the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, they have done something somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty. When this sin, if they have sinned against it, is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the congregation. Because now, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to hide something, and it's found out, this is how this is the payment that you have to pay for that sin, right? You got to bring the young bullock before the congregation, for the people. Verse 15. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before the Lord, and the bullock shall be killed before the Lord. Now, while we in this, right, one thing you got to understand, I was probably brought it out last week, that these are called sacrifices for a reason, right? It's not this. You can say it's ritual. Some people say it's ritualistic, but there's a point in it, right? A sacrifice is something that you have to give up willingly, right? The reason it's called sacrifice is because it's supposed to mean a great deal to you, right? That's why you went to sacrifice. That's why the sacrifice is supposed to be there. You're supposed to give up that young bullock. What the young bullock going to be for? You're supposed to grow that young bullock up, right? And then take him and breed him with the other with the young female bulls, right? I don't think they call it bullock. I can't remember what they're called at the moment. But you're gonna breed them with the females, right? So you can raise up more livestock. Especially you got a young bullock without blemish. He's nice, he's strong, he's big. You know what I'm saying? Everything like that. That's the bullock that you're going to give up for sacrifice. Because you sinned. What's the purpose of it? The purpose is that you don't continue sinning, so that you don't want to have to always give up your best bullock. Of course, there's always the peace offering. Of course, the peace offering is like the sacrifice. It is your best bullock, your best lamb, the best whatever, right? So it's supposed to be. Look. Verse 16. And the priest that is anointed shall bring of the bullock's blood to the tabernacle of the congregation, And the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord, even before the veil. I just showed you guys that veil where you put the sprinkler at. In fact, it says anything that we read before is the same thing. You're gonna hear the same thing again before the end of this service, right? I'll bring it back up again. Like I said, people are visual learners. Seems like it's big enough to me. Like it says, right? So again, you take that blood, the tabernacle, the congregation. This is the tabernacle. Right? You get that blood right here before the veil. It's like verse 18. He shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar, which is before the Lord, that is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Once again, this is the altar, right? What they're talking about, the incense. After you sprinkle blood here, you sprinkle blood here, you come out, pour the blood into here. At the bottom of this, right? The bottom of that altar. That's where you're going to pour the rest of the blood at. You probably think that this is wrong or raw, or that, cruelty to the animals, but it's not. I'm saying it's you can never view or see that way as long as you serve the Most High. They're not like we hunt the animals to extinction. You know what I mean? So. Right. Verse 19. We shall sprinkle all of this fat from him and burn it upon the altar. Right, the altar is where they're going to burn it. The altar is basically it's a grill. What it is, it's a big grill. This altar for burnt offering is a grill. Right, we got the altar over here, incense. Right, so we get that confused with anything else. All altars are grills. Verse 20. He shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for a sin offering. So shall he do with this. The priest shall make an atonement for them. He shall be forgiven. It shall be forgiven them. Just like they've sacrificed, they went through the same motions with the bullock they used for the sin offering before. For the peace offering, this is going to be the same way. For the congregation, the message from the congregation, they got to bring an animal to sacrifice. If the elders put their hands on the 7 elders, I don't think it gives a number of elders. To the elders of Israel, double check. Right, the elders of the congregation, right? So right there, I'm going back a page. Right, so it's elders of the congregation, right? This same meaning, but the elders will come up with lay their hands on the bullock. The bullock is going to be sacrificed. All right, you're going to drain of his blood. You're going to cut it into the pieces. You're going to get in there. You're going to take his inner parts out. You take the fat out, you take the meat, you gotta skin them. You do all that to the bullock. Right? After all that's done, then your sin will be forgiven. Verse 21. He shall carry forth the bullock without the camp and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the congregation. When a ruler hath sinned and done somewhat through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord his God concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty, or if his sin wherein he hath sinned come to his knowledge, he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a male without blemish. He shall lay his hand upon the head upon the goat, and kill it in the place where they killed the burnt offering before the Lord. It is a sin offering. All right, so this is giving you different. If this person sins, you sacrifice this animal. This person sins, you sacrifice this happens, then you sacrifice this animal. Now, if the ruler, somebody that's in a position of leadership or authority, if he sins, he has to bring a goat, right, for his offering, to bring before the congregation, right, before the Lord. It's like. Just like we had before, the priest shall take the blood of the sin offering with his fingers and put it upon the horns of the altar for burnt offering. And then you're gonna go straight to the burnt offering, right? That's where you're going. Straight to the burnt offering. He pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar for a burnt offering. He shall burn the fat upon the altar as the fat of sacrifice of the peace offerings, and the priest shall make an atonement for him as concerning his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. And if any one of the common people sin through ignorance, while he doeth somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which ought not to be done, he be guilty, or if his sin which he have sinned come out of his knowledge, then he shall bring his offering of a kid of the goats, of a female without blemish, for his sin which he hath sinned. He shall lay his finger upon the head of the sin offering and slay it, offering in the place of the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. Let's get this other area. I think I'm ready to share it now. That's about it. Right. Or if his sin which he hath sinned come to his knowledge, then he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish. So this is the comment for those people that don't have a position of authority or power or anything like that. Just regular old people, common people. Without blemish for his sin which he hath sinned. He shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering. So that place where it's rightfully going to sin, when we put that right from there. Take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savior unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for him. It shall be given him. Right, verse 32. And if you bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female without blemish. He shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering and slay it for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. The priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the altars. To put it upon, and shall put out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offerings, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar, according to the offering made by fire unto the Lord. All right, try stay awake. You're almost there. He shall take away the fat thereof of the lamb, taking away the sacrifice of peace offerings. The priest shall burn them upon the altar, according to the offerings made by fire unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sins, and that he have committed, this shall be forgiven him. Chapter 5, verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, he shall bear his iniquity. Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of an unclean cattle, or the carcass of an unclean creeping thing, if it be hidden from him, he should also be unclean and guilty. So basically, whatever somebody do, you know you're guilty by association, because you know you didn't say anything. Same thing with touching something that you know is unclean, you are also unclean. If somebody touch you, you didn't know you were unclean. Verse 3. Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be, that a man shall be defiled withal, and be hid from him, be hid from him. When he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty. Right, so some might just sound like knowledge, you're not guilty, but if you kind of find out what it is, you ain't did anything about it, you're guilty. Because you know better. You just had to hide it. Verse 4. Or if a soul swear pronouncing with his lips to do evil or to do good, whatsoever it be that a man shall pronounce with an oath of it and be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, he shall be guilty in one of these. And it shall be, when he shall be guilty of these things, that he shall confess that he have sinned in that thing. He shall bring his trespass offering to the Lord for his sin, which he hath sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats, for a sin offering, and the priest shall make their own. He shall not be able to bring a lamb. If he should not be able to bring a lamb, he shall bring for trespass which he hath committed 2 turtle doves. So these is going into if you can't bring if you ain't got this to bring. This is the other alternative you can bring for the sacrifice to atone for your sins. 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons unto the Lord, for one is a sin offering and the other is a burnt offering. And he shall bring them unto the present. He shall bring them, the priest who shall offer that which is for the sin offering first, to bring off his head from his neck, and shall not divide asunder. And he shall sprinkle the blood of the sin offering upon the side of the altar, with the rest of the blood shall be wrung out at the bottom of the altar of sin. He shall offer the second for a burnt offering according to the manner, and the priest shall make an atonement for him for his sin which he hath sinned, and it shall be forgiven him. It's like I'm tired, Josh. It's like verse 11. But if he be not able to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons that he had passed, he that sins shall bring his offering a 10th part of the ephah of the fine flour for an offering, for a sin offering. He shall put no oil upon it, neither shall he put any frankincense thereon, for it is a sin offering. Then shall he bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful of it, even a memorial thereof, and burn it in the oven, according to the offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a sin offering. Shalom, sis. Checking in. So that's all the 49 verses today. Like I said, this is just going over, what to do, what you can offer up for a sin offering, right? What that process looks like, what that goes into. So I already went over, we brought up the visual aid earlier, what to do, right? Showing love back. So we already know what to do, right? That's what this is going over. If you sin, this is what you have to do, right? So this is the sin that you have to pay, because some sins results in your death. There's no ifs and buts about it. But this sin, these sins are like you do it unknowingly through ignorance. You're gonna get the knowledge. You have to bring that sin offering to the Most High, and basically if this person is at this position, is what you bring. If you don't got this, because this is what they're coming for. If you don't got this, if you bring this or this or that. Right? So it's something to remember. I'm not gonna keep y'all. Someone says, yeah, I'm not gonna keep y'all. So that's the 49 verses. So the Leviticus kind of like it was especially at the end of Exodus. A lot of repeating certain things because it's going over. If you're at this station, this station of life, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's kind of weird here. Like different people have to bring different types of animals for the offering. All right, so yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We'll get these prayers in. All right, so Imagine reach to stand. Upon your Hakwadam to turn the face to east. All right. This is the dispersion is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak of Ka, Taba'ah, Zaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Velanawa, Bekam, Kal, Yawam, Masalak Nawa, Kawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawathi Nawa, Wala'ah, Kabaya Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abar, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwath, Wa'ala, Watapa Rath, Lawalanyam, Aman. In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. All right, it's the cock, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baba Kashah, Delanawa, the cock Larapa'ah, Call Makalah, Call Madawa, Hakat Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakat La-Aquayim, Hamathian, Hakat or Karwath, Hatamala, Lagar Shan, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Wadaman. In English, Yahweh, name Yahushai, please give us the power, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. Name Yahushai, so be it. All right, that's Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barak Benawa, Rash Allah, Wahabayasapari, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Wadaman. In English, Yahweh, name Yahushai, bless us in Israel in the school. Name Yahushai, thank you, so be it. All right, Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Aharu. Let me just look at the tray. I said, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Aharu, Ma'ayan, Yaba'i, Azariah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayim, Wa'aratazah, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Ayanawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Bala'ah, Le'yashan, Sharmar, Nasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tzalka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Lekaka, Bayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazan Athkan, Ababa Akim, Mayatha, Wa'ai, Iwalam. All right, in English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help coming from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, but the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth, and even forevermore. All right, Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all Damu Yalaka, all Takarash, all Tashakwat, all Kayahana, our Yabika, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, our Amaka, Yawa Yamwa, Sawada, Wayata, Yaitazawa, Alta Pawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Winakakidam, Wagalia, Walaat, Zakar, Shangash Ali, Awada, Kaya, Aitazawa, Naba, Kadwa, Alyaka, Warya, Lakarathwa, Ahaya, Marawam, Wayashma Ali, Bawaba, Wagaria, Gabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Walashath, and Yeshebia, because the war, Gum Ashuror, Nalawat, Imam, Hayawa, Zorawai, the Bayam Lawat, Salah, Ashalaham, Kamadi, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Banakal, Koyashwan, Ashmadwood, Ba'yan, Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shaitamwa, Nida, Yatmawa, Ka'arab, Mukaza'abu, Mukazabak, Mukatazar, Mana'ai, Ka, Sayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Naira Shah, Nanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shaitamwa, Kagagala, Kakwash, Napanya Raka, Ka'ash, Tabaira Ya'iru, Wakala Haba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Thardatma, Masairaka, Basa, Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Palawan, Wayabakashwa, Shimka, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Aidai, Wayakaparwa, Waya Abatwa, Waya Da'aiwa, Ka'ata, Kaya'ata, Shimka, Yahawah, Labatka, Ayawan, Alka, Ha'aratazah. In English, keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They are taking crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. The name of Yasharallah will be no more in remembrance. For they consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, the souls also joined with them. Their whole penetration of Lot, Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, the wicked Kisan, which perished at Endor, and became as dung for the earth. Make the nobles like Areb and like Zeed, yea, or the princes of SABBATH and Nazarmuna, who said, let's take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like it will. As the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, let the flames set the mountains on fire. Persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. For their faces with shame, they may see thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth. All right, it's the lessons in Hebrew. Rakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Maka'ala, Wa Alahayim, Matazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapim, Ha Saranyim, Quatazayayim, Akalayayim, Wa Wakim, Yahweh, Ba Shem Yahweh Shai, Wada Aman. In English, bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, the manager and Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh. Name Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. All right, sidewise shoving, turning seated. As in today's Sabbath service. Shalom.